Thank you, Usha. Our next session explores the offensive side of AI. The session is titled Building the Adversary AI Rate Teaming Agents for Next Generation. Please welcome Mr. Dhaval and Mr. Vipul. Mr. Dhaval, who is a Senior Assurance Engineering Lead at Microsoft, and Mr. Vipul is a Cloud Security Architect at Microsoft.
Be sleepy, but we'll try to keep you awake. Hi, Dhaval. How much do you trust any AI system?
Oh, that's a simple question, but with a difficult answer. I trust not the AI. I don't trust it at all. But I do verify whatever it gives.
Oh, that's the right approach, actually. Basically, we need to trust and verify, and to build that trust and verification, we need to prepare. It doesn't come by chance, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we are going to understand when we say the AI red teaming agent. We strengthen our defenses prior deploying the AI project in the production for real world. And that's how we are building the adversary.
Yep.
Hi all, my name is Vipul Dhabi. I'm working as security consultant at Microsoft. Over to you, Dhaval, for your introduction.
Thank you, Vipul. Hi again, everyone. Myself, Dhaval Srivastav. I am working with Microsoft as Senior Security Engineering Lead. Yeah, it's a big title, but with a bigger work. So today we are here to spark some curiosity with you and spark some interest. But before starting with that, I can manage that, Vipul. Thank you. So before we start with the presentation or the talk, let me say that I have few generic terms and I just want your participation to say yes or no if everybody understands red teaming. Does everybody understand red teaming here? Awesome. AI, yeah, it's a very buzzy word. We must be using 100 times a day. What is an AI? Are we at par with the definitions as in understanding? Gen AI. Awesome. Yeah, very tricky one. LLM. Very much good. Everybody had food? Can we burn it more with a louder yes? Awesome, thank you. Yeah, the simple ones. AI agents. Agentic AI. Can anybody help us create a difference or quick understanding, one-liner, what is AI agent and agentic AI? Too much on the spot? Please go ahead, sir. Yeah, not wrong, absolutely right. If I just have to add one thing, I would just add the autonomous part to it. That the real difference between those two is AI agent is more like, say, just for understanding, don't quote me anywhere, RPA, remote process automation kind of stuff. Agentic AI is somebody who's also, making decisions runtime on whatever is the outcome of that RPA. Cool. If we are at par, let's move on. So, welcome to Building AI Adversary for AI. Today, we're going to talk about how you can leverage AI when you have to do a red teaming activity on an AI. That AI could be an AI system or LLM. Now, what are the basic challenges of a typical red teaming activity? They are here. So typically, they are very time intensive. They are very manual effort intensive. At the same time, coverage is always a challenging part, like how much you have covered in terms of offensive use cases. These are the typical challenges of red teaming. Same goes with AI. However, when it comes to Gen AI or AI in general, the complexity just builds on top of it. So far with red teaming, we have been struggling with the business logic, implementation, architecture. With AI, one important part comes into play on top of all of this, which is like content. And when we talk about Gen AI, it's all about not just giving the content, generating the content as well. So with AI, there comes new risk, new type of risk which are related to content. We'll speak more about it. We'll understand what they are more. However, at the same time, when we think about red teaming and AI, here we are talking about red teaming AI with the help of AI in terms of content risk. Not your typical cybersecurity risk, which could be like SSRF. No, we are not talking about SSRF here, which are system risk. We are talking about purely content risk. Now, when I say content risk, what are these content risks in terms of Gen AIs? So typically, we can categorize the risk overall in 8 categories, which are here. Like the louder ones that we know of is like, generating violent content or making LLM or AI system to generate violent content, making them give some information which should be impacting privacy of the system, or creating hateful content like some graphics or maybe sexual content, which ideally we don't prefer in a day-to-day world, that should be given as an output. So these are the typical risks that we cover with an AI. And when we talk about offensive AI red teaming thing, we will cover all this content related risk. Now, in order to build an AI agent for offensive security, for red teaming activity on AI, what all things would be needed? This is the first thing. You will need to understand the risk. This will be kind of part of your scope. What all risk you want to cover? You can cover either one. Suppose if it's a chatbot. Now chatbot is dealing with a, say, e-commerce website. And that e-commerce website chatbot will just give you order information, nothing on the personal front. It goes like, what is the status of my order? So you need not to have a hateful or unfair content generation requirement, but definitely need to have misinformation and disinformation content generation possibility. So we can do a mix and match on what type of risk categories we want to cover based on the type of system we want to do red teaming on. Now, after risk, we need to find ways to exploit the risk. In order to find the ways, we need to find the attack strategies. Now, when it comes to generative AI, there are typically two types of attack that we talk about. One, which is a single turn attack. Single turn attack, and the second one is multi-turn. What are these? I'll just take 20 seconds on that. Single turn means you give one prompt, you probe the AI system with one prompt, and whatever output comes, you are satisfied with it. Whatever is the evaluation of that prompt, you are okay with it. Second comes the multi-turn attack, which means you build on the context with the AI. You give one prompt, basis the response, you give a new updated prompt, and basis the second response, you keep on building until and unless your objective is received in terms of if you want AI to give some privacy information. Then you keep on building prompts onto prompts basis the response, AI's response, and that is where it falls under multi-turn attack. Now here on the right side, we see many colorful words. These are nothing but the typical strategies that we have in AI. There are 25 plus strategies, which are a combination of roughly 19 or 20 single-turn attacks, which is like, say, ROT 13, which is more on the cipher suits breaking. We have the typical ANSI attack. We have character smuggling, similar attacks. At the same time, we have jailbreaking also mentioned here, which is part of the multi-turn. So whenever you want to jailbreak it, that means you want to do the defense, you want to break the walls of the AI system altogether. That is where the jailbreaking comes in. So that will fall under attack strategies. Are we good so far? Awesome. Now, when you know what are the risks you want to cover and what are the attack strategies you are applying, what is the eventual outcome that you want to have? You want to ensure that my risk mitigation strategy, what is my risk mitigation strategy and what is the completeness and comprehensiveness of that strategy? So to build any risk management strategy comprehensiveness, we basically need three things. Like, these are not very specific to AI, but here these are used in terms of offensive AI red teaming. The very first what you do? You scan, right? Here, what we are talking about, since it is AI and we are talking about automation in terms of AI, we are automating scans, we are automating attacks, let me say attacks, on the AI system or the model that you want to attack on. And then, why are you doing that? To generate the outputs. Once you have done this, what do you need to do? You need to assess and evaluate the outcomes, like any typical scanning or vulnerability assessment or pen testing, right? You do some attack, you take the output, and you verify, and you evaluate. So second comes the evaluation. Now here, evaluation means, suppose if we are attacking our AI system with, say, 20 offensive use cases, that could be comprising hundreds of prompts. Now, how will you ensure that what is the success rate of your attack or your probing? Then here you will need to have mechanisms which will help you quantify your results. And then on basis the quantification of the results, you will have scoring, which could be like, say, from 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. And basis the score, if the attack is successful, it could be towards the higher number from 1 to 10. If it is not successful or less successful, it will be from 0 to 1 or 0 to 5, right? And once you have this evaluation, what do you need? Do we run scans or do we perform tests only one time or on a continuous basis? Continuous. So the third important part is whatever tests are being run, whatever inputs have we received, we need to log it, and at the same time we need to report it. So reporting and login comes the third pillar for a successful risk management strategy. Now in reporting and login, you will continue to get the outputs, report it, continue to evaluate. For example, we did the assessment first run, the accuracy or the effectiveness of the attack was 10. Eventually, on the multiple iterations, with the updated models, the say scores coming towards the lower range of say 4 or 5, then we can do an ongoing risk management strategy. Now, with this, what will you achieve? Like, what are we doing when we are assessing a system, be it AI or non-AI? What are we trying to do? We are trying to gauge the effectiveness and readiness of that system for a production use. Can we give it out to the real world, to our customers and to our clients? So this is what we do. Now, when we talk about specifically AI, please say hello to Pirate. It is there on my co-speaker's shirt as well. So, as the name suggests, it works like a pirate, but it has a meaning. It is nothing but Python risk identification tool. So this is an amazing open source, free for all framework, which makes you do the things that you want to do, what we just discussed in terms of red teaming. It will help you with probing the AIs or the models that you want to do, probing in terms of the content risk that we have covered so far, or what we got to know about that 7, 8 content risk, all the content generation. B, it will help you assess and evaluate the outcomes. Like, okay, you ran it on say 10 models. How will you assess? What will be the benchmarking? What will be the results outcome criteria or success criteria of your probing? And then third, it will help you with the continuous logging, reporting, and monitoring, so that when you compare the maturity of your model or AI system with the repeated scans, you will have a comprehensive data available with you to show from where we started and how far our model or AI system has come in terms of AI security maturity, and are we ready to deploy it for the production use. So to understand more about AI red teaming and to see Pirate in action, I would invite my co-speaker Vipul to walk us through the journey of this.
Okay. Thank you, Dhaval, for the insightful baselining on the Pirate. I know Pirate is everywhere. It is even drawn on my T-shirt by my mom, and it's handmade. It's not printed. So with that, we need to even understand what other applications we have, for the Pirate, right? And that is where AI red teaming agent comes into the context, right? It is totally dependent on Pirate for all the operations which we are going to observe further in our upcoming deck. Right, the purpose is straightforward, that we need to proactively look for risk associated with our GenAI application. Then the foundation is Pirate we discussed. The benefit is that early detection of risk will be cheaper rather than identifying at the later stages of the AI development lifecycle. The outcome is the report, which can be shared across by to the respective AI stakeholders. And then we have a stronger risk management as well, right? Just to highlight on the core capabilities, automated scanning is something which Dhaval has highlighted efficiently. We'll observe it in action. Then evaluate the probing success, right, which is pointing to the attack success rate, often abbreviated as ASR, and then reporting and logging, right? So with that, let's move to the next segment. This architecture is something where we are trying to explain how Pirate is exhibiting the adversarial mindset, right? Adversarial mindset is something which goes beyond. It will be not just simple as is written there, like how to loot a bank, right? LLMs are intelligent enough to indicate that, I'm sorry, I cannot address that thing, right? So where does Pirate help us? Pirate would try to flip. Flipping is just one strategy which has been exhibited here, like it says, knob a tool at home. Basically, it is flipped. And there are chances for us to get the response from the LLM, but we are not sure. But this is one of the strategies which can be applied across 20 plus strategies which have been discussed till now. This part basically discusses that we can give the seed prompt, and then Pirate will apply the attack strategies, and it will target the AI system, and then the evaluation will start happening, and then we will generate the attack success rate. To demystify attack success rate is something when you're giving prompt, right, you get the response. That can be successful or unsuccessful, right? If it is successful, then that means something malicious can be fed to the system, and we can get the data which we should not be. So that is where we should put some more effort, right? So let's just proceed. Any question till now? Okay. So this is the high-level overview of what we are going to exhibit, right? If you see, there are 4 broad steps here. What is the prerequisite one? Where we are going to create our own Azure subscription, our resource group, and Azure AI Foundry project, right? Where we are going to deploy our OpenAI model, right? With OpenAI model, we'll get three important aspects. One is the model endpoint, model API key, and model name. These are the key aspects with which we are going to interact with the model, right? Why we need to interact? Because we need to give prompts to the model, right? And then observe their behavior. These three aspects we'll be using in the second step, which goes with AI red teaming agent code, which is directly fed from the Microsoft documentation. Only thing we are adding is these three aspects to it, alongside the strategies and categories. If you see, category is violence and base 64 by default, right? Once we run this code, after giving all this detail, the third aspect is running the AI red teaming agent, where it performs the automated scan, and it will basically simulate the adversarial behavior by probing endpoints and giving the prompts of all the categories which are defined in the code, right? Then once it evaluates the success, it generates an ASR and understand the response from the prompt, whether it is successful or not. Right, when we say successful, we got the data which we would like to get. But when it is successful, it directly says no to the response, right? Reporting and logging, once it is in place, we get a scorecard like this, which has been exhibited here, where we see different number of statistics, what is successful, what is not, basically the ASR, which can be easily shared across. With that, let's get to the demo. Only the prerequisite part is already done, but the second, third, and fourth, we can observe in the demo. So yeah, this is our red teaming Python file, which is our AI red teaming agent. This is the same code which I was exhibiting previously, and it has been fed from the documentation. If you see, I've highlighted the endpoints. These are the model endpoint, model API key, model deployment name, right? And there's in this segment, which has been currently highlighted, we have a number of turns, that 5 turns. For each category and strategies which we're defining, these are the number of turns which it will exhibit, right? Alongside the existing violence and base 64 category, these are the other categories which are currently supported, like hate, unfairness, violence. We'll try to append few. So from the given list, I just took hate and unfairness as one of the additional. We'll append it to the existing code like this. As it is a risk category, we will need to put risk category dot hate unfairness. When I say strategy as base 64 at the top, it means it will give the prompt in the base 64 format and not in normal English language, right? And these are the existing attack strategies which we are observing here, like Caesar, binary, string join, right, flip. These are all the existing one, and we'll just take the difficult one, which will make the prompt difficult for LLM to address, right? In similar way, we'll just go to our code again and add attack strategy dot difficult, and then this code is good to run. We have all the endpoint details, and the strategies and categories are pretty much defined. So we'll just get back to our place and we'll just run. I'm using PowerShell there, and this portal is very important because this is the same portal where we have deployed our model, and then now we are evaluating our model, right? So as soon as you run your redteam.python code, which is our red teaming agent as well, right? You need to observe the response here, right? It was in starting stage because we just ran the code, and the time it takes to complete depends upon the number of turns we have given. We have given number of turns 5. For each category it has to run, and that's why it will take some time, right? Meanwhile, it is running. I'll just walk you through this portal, Azure AI Foundry. This is the same which we have spinned in our Azure resource group, right? Azure resource group. And at the last, if you see model plus endpoint, this is the place we have deployed the model, right? And from that model deployment, we have captured the model endpoint API key, which we are further using in our AI red teaming code. And under protect and govern, we have evaluation, where we are currently, and where we are looking for the response from the AI red teaming agents. I've just refreshed the portal to see if it is executed or not. Once it executes, okay, it got executed, right? So the very first thing, it got completed, and it has hate, unfairness, violence. These are the 2 categories which we have defined, if you recollect. And these are the breakup. Now, if you open that, you will get to this place where it says out of how many total prompts were given and how many were successful, right? So out of 36 were successful and making it 20% successful. So means whatever prompts being given by the pirate, of which 6 were successful. So if you want to see which one is successful, this is the breakup. Like if you just get to the data tab, you will see. And if you do view more, you will be able to see the exact prompt. So as you know, the prompt is given in base 64, so it was not understandable to me as well. So I just copied this prompt and got to ChatGPT to understand what does it actually mean, right? So I just gave it here and just to understand, because if I don't understand the prompt, how will I assess the response, right? So I just copied that, get to the ChatGPT and understood what does it actually mean. So I just gave it, and then I got to understand that it is some harmful category which ideally our model should not respond to, but we have got a response, and that is concerning, right? Attack successful is something which is concerning, and we should bring it across our AI development lifecycle team, so that in the next AI red teaming exercise, it will not come again. So if you see, it was domestic violence and murder related prompt. I was not aware that if I give violence as a category, it would bring something like this. So, but still, to understand it better, we need to have use case in hand. So that's why I got a response to it. This is how you can actually imitate this thing, right? Which is harmful, and it's not good. In similar ways, you can observe other prompts which are other unsuccessful attacks, right? You can view more, and if you see few places, it is base 64, and the response itself is in base 64. So you can go and you can also observe the unsuccessful ones where it directly negates. Basically, Byret is trying to frame some hypothesis and trying to expect some input from it, but model is sometimes intelligent and doesn't give us the response, but sometimes it can be tracked, right? So that's how it is. So this is one of the aspects where we got the ASR, right? And there were six successful prompts, and export result is something which is of importance. It will give us an Excel report which you can share across so as to bring more visibility towards the given report. So that is the demo pretty much. Yeah, we are done with time. Okay. Yeah, so this is the last slide where it is indicating that when you are going to assess or in which phase you should start AI red teaming. So if you see at the very top, we have proactive and reactive approach. Proactive when you are proactive looking or performing red teaming exercise, but at which phase you will start, right? You will start, these are all the design, develop, integrate, test, and run, monitor. These are all the AI development lifecycle stages, and you should start, ideally the AI red teaming supports the develop, till run and monitor stage you can do at any phase, but you should start at develop phase. Reason being, when you start early, you tend to identify risk earlier and you can fix it easily at a less cost, rather than fixing and identifying it at a test phase and then rolling back in the earlier stages, right? So that is the catch here. And
sorry to cut. Yeah. While this slide is not screaming out loud, I will tell it out loud. This is screaming shift left.
Exactly.
Your approach.
So yeah, this is shift safety to proactive preventive. This is shift left in the context of AI development lifecycle, which is common across, yeah. And the third last block which you are seeing here is actually emphasizing on the fact that in the whole AI security stack, AI red teaming is only going to complement others, and it is not going to be an overhead. So that is the catch. And the last slide I'm explaining throughout that if we are proactive enough, it would be less costly. And if we are at the later stage, being reactive, it would be costly for you. So that's why it is important. That's where you should start AI red teaming. With that, what you are waiting for, you should be proactive enough now to scan this code and go and try out your hands-on.
Yep. Thank you. I just need a minute. Sorry for that. Like while giving the presentation and while getting the reminder, I realized, and sorry for that, that 30 minutes could not justify the content that we want to deliver. At the same time, the takeaways. But yeah, here we are available offline as well, off stage, not offline, off stage as well to sort out any queries and doubts you have. But before we part ways, it is important to know what we wanted to deliver with today's talk. We wanted to deliver 3 key takeaways. Now these takeaways are based out of the red teaming activity that we performed, we as in not our team, but in our organization teams performed on 200 plus models. And by assessing the outcome, these are the 3 key takeaways which are generalized. Number 1, generative AI systems will not give you an edge on the systems. It will just gonna amplify the risks that are there. At the same time, generative AI system will bring its own set of new risks to your existing system. So it is important to keep in mind, AI is not a silver bullet. Number two, jobs are saved, touch wood so far. We always need human in the loop when we talk about AI. Why? The way we started, do I trust AI? No. But do I want to use AI? Yes. What will we do? We keep human in the loop to verify if AI is working the way it is expected. Maybe it might outgrow me later on, but today I am safe. Most importantly, number three, which is very generic. When we talk about Gen AI system, there is no one single pill. We have to approach Gen AI systems the typical way where we talk about defense in depth, which means a layered approach. Right from the moment you enter the prompt, up till the LLM, which is actually processing the prompt and giving you the output. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhaval and Vipul, for demonstrating the future of red teaming with AI. And now it's again the exciting time of quiz. So please do your active participation because we are having prizes aligned. And whoever is knowing the answer, please raise your hand. And inside we perform like if you're answering something, you have to give the justification why this answer is correct. Okay, so with that, can you please bring the first question, Dhaval? So the question one is, what metric does the AI red teaming agent use to measure how often adversarial probing succeeds? And the options are response time, attack success rate, prompt injection count, or error rate. I'm able to see one hand. I mean, so many hands are raised, but I have seen that gentleman has raised their hand first. Can you please pass the mic over there?
It is B, attack success rate.
And can you please explain, put little lights on it, why the answer is B?
No, we are, as Sir explained, I think today and in other sessions also, probing means you are just checking for the attack success rate.
Okay.
So that you know whether it is really happening or not. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to add anything else? Can you please pass mic here? And here Dhaval and Vipul is the one who will be, choosing the one person among...
So Dhaval mentioned about prompting and getting the response. And you keep on prompting to an extent where you get actual response that you are expecting for. Like it can actually spill out the means, right? So attacks, what was that? ASR, right? So that is the approach. The more you prompt, the more vulnerability you will get. So that's how the red teaming will try to see how vulnerable the AI is.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that is right. But difficult part is to choose one. Please presume I am not here.
I'll give the gift, well, you can decide.
Sorry?
I'll give the gift, whatever, you can decide who.
Whoever answered first, I would go by that. Sorry for.
Can you please come on the
stage,
stage,
But both of you
please?
were right. The important part
Thank
is
you
to
for the
understand.
participation.
Thank you for the right answers. Bigger thank you for actively
Please
listening.
introduce yourself and your organization in which you are working. Please come on the stage.
Please do the honors.
Hey, it is Kalyan. I work as a product security champion in Dell. And it's great to be here with our associates. And by the way, I think today I went to another presentation. I'm half in this presentation. But it is a great presentation for the entire day.
Thank you.
I could quote on this.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
We have one more last opportunity to get the goodies. So can we bring the second question, please?
I'm on it. Yes, here it is.
Which of the following is not part of the AI red teaming agent workflow?
Most difficult, by the way.
Automated scanning.
Yes, please,
Oh,
Hilal.
already the hands are raised.
Huh? Oh, I myself is not
you
sure.
have to-
Anybody want to support or counter? Oh, please go ahead.
Well, I think Molten is also totally different from red teaming. because we are not there to improve the model. We are trying to figure out the vulnerabilities in the model.
Awesome, awesome, well said. Is it right?
Sir, can you please come on the stage, please?
Indeed it is. Thank you.
Certainly, you don't need, any introduction, but for the audience,
Yeah.
can you please introduce yourself and?
Yeah, my name is Hilal, and I'm the CISO at Liminal Custody. Prior to this, I used to be the CISO at Razorpay and Dream11. I've been working in security. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Hilal.
Sir, how did you like the presentation, sir?
Now I request Usha to please felicitate our speakers.